Johnny Laurinaitis, not you're not his biggest fan, right? Is that true?
No, that's exactly right, man. I think you might have heard the story on the other podcast. Did you listen to that other podcast that I'd done talking about him?
No, but I saw like a quote on Twitter, like from one of the wrestling news sites that picked it up. It said something about you and not liking Johnny Ace, that he banned
Right.
you from the backstage or something with him.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. I did a few years of enhancement work, extra
Yep.
work, whatever you want to call it, and I uh, I had a. Do you remember Vladimir Kozlov
Yes. Yep.
at WWE? Okay, he and I worked about three different times. And every time I come up there, Vladimir, after the first time I worked him, he goes, Marty, maybe me and you work. I said, brother, it ain't up to me, it's up to them. You gotta ask, somebody else, man. I said, "No, I can't." Yeah, I said, yeah, me, yeah, I want to work you. Yeah, absolutely, man. And so I told him, I said, go ask Arn Anderson, somebody, one of the agents. So we got to work three times, and the last time I worked him, man, we had a great match. Um, he comes up to me, just a quick little side note. He come up to me in the locker room and he goes, Marty, I want you to punch me. I said, okay. He said, no, I mean now. I said, like a work punch? He says, no, like a real punch. I said, no, man, I don't want to hit you like that. He goes, no, I want you to. Right now. He goes, yeah. So I hit him with about 75%, man, right in the jaw. And he goes, yes, like that. He said, you do that in the ring. And I'm like, okay. So
Wow.
anyway, we go out there. We had a nice little match. And, of course, it wasn't very long. And at the end of the night, I said, Johnny, can I talk to you for a minute? He goes, yeah, man. And he said, what is it, Marty? I said, look, what's it going to take for me to try to get a job here, man? And he says, well, he said, Marty, you want me to be honest with you? I said, absolutely. He said, we don't think we can make any money with you. I said, oh, really? And I kind of chuckled. And I said, man, have you never looked at any of my tapes I sent you, my clip tapes, my promos, none of that? He goes, nah. He said, I don't have time to look at tapes, man. I said, all that stuff I did, all those photos, all the videos, everything, you've never seen any of it. He goes, no. I said, well, there's the problem. And he said, I'll tell you what, you go make a name for yourself somewhere, somehow, go to Puerto Rico, go somewhere. He said, go overseas and do something, Japan somewhere. He said, and then come back and talk to me. He said, but I want you to create a stir. So I started thinking about it, and I told Matt Hardy at the time, I said, Matt, I said, well, I got to think of something, man. And that's back when Facebook was going on. And I had a little Facebook page, and oh, no, not Facebook, MySpace. You remember MySpace?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So what I did is I wrote a blog on MySpace called The Forgotten Beatle. When the Beatles came over here from England, they left a guy behind. His name was Pete Best, and they left him
Yes.
behind. So he was going to be the fifth Beatle, and he didn't come. So he never became the fifth Beatle. And I felt like the fifth Beatle with Matt and Jeff and Jason Arndt and Shannon gone. I was the number five. That was my clique right there. So I said I was a forgotten Beatle. And I said, and I talked about how people would come up to me asking for autographs from Matt and Jeff, wanting me to get them an autograph from Matt and Jeff. And I said, what a hard pill that is to swallow whenever you got to get an autograph from somebody. And I never denied anybody. I'd always do it. But they didn't know how hard that was for me to do that.
Right.
And so I asked Matt, I said, what should I do with this blog? He said, send it to every wrestling newsletter we can. And that thing in a couple of weeks got over 100,000 hits. And we were just amazed. And about, I don't know, 2.5 weeks, Fighting Spirit magazine called me and wanted to do an article on me, I think it was a 4-page spread with pictures and everything, and me working for The Rock, and me and the Hardy Boys together and all this stuff. And they called it The Forgotten Beatle. Great article, man. And so I was making some headway. People started a campaign online, and they called it the Higher Champagne campaign. And Matt Hardy said, Marty, there are people bringing signs to the shows that say Higher Champagne. He said, we'll be out back walking to our cars, and we'll see a big sign that says Higher Champagne. He said, and they're bringing them to the shows. So one Monday Night Raw, Matt called me, said, Marty, you got to turn the TV on. There's 2 or 3 signs in the audience that say higher champagne. You got to check them out. I turned, which I had a TV on anyway. And I was trying to find the signs and I couldn't find them. And they had some of the signs blurred out. Those were my signs they had blurred out. I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
dude, they got my signs blurred out. And he said right after that they went to England and did a show. And he said the Undertaker gets on the bus after the show. They was all riding the bus back to their hotels, whatever. He said Undertaker gets on the bus with all the boys and he goes, did anybody see that 6-foot higher champagne sign in the crowd tonight? And he looked at Matt and said, Matt, isn't that your boy Marty Garner? He goes, yeah. He goes, what's going on with that? So Matt tells him. He said, well, tell him I hope it works, man. He said, I hope he gets in like that. And a few days after that, Matt calls me. Well, first of all, let me back up and say I went to a show in Greensboro, a WWE show. I'm walking through the parking lot. I see a car, higher champagne on every window, man. It had higher champagne all over that car. So naturally, I took pictures with it. And so Matt calls me a few days after that. He said, Johnny Laurinaitis called me and wants your number. I said, here we go. This is it. And Matt said, man, hope this works, man. And so Johnny called me. He said, Marty, did you start a higher champagne campaign? I said, well, I didn't start it, but it got started. He said, and did you give somebody my personal email? Did you give out my personal email? I said, no, I don't even know your personal email, Johnny. Which it would probably be pretty easy to get if you just, put jlaurinaitis at www.com. I'm sure that's what it was. But I didn't tell him that. He said, well, I'm getting 300 to 500 emails a day about you wanting to hire you. And I'm sure some of those were bots. Somebody had a bot doing it probably. But he said, I don't want to see you anymore, Marty. I said, Johnny, you told me to cause a stir. You told me to make a stir. I said, I did. I said, Johnny, I'm just trying to get an effing job. He goes, oh, now you're cursing at a senior official of WWE. I said, Johnny, I'm not cursing at you. I'm cursing about the situation. I said, man, I've given all I had to get to this point, man. And all the stuff I've done, you haven't even checked any of it out. I said, give me an opportunity. Let me show you what I can do. He goes, Marty, I don't want to ever see you again. If you come to the show, if I see you in your locker room, I'm going to have you arrested.
Okay? Wow.
So I never went back, man. And that's the last time I went to the WWE locker room.
Damn. Any talks with him ever again after that, or that was it?
That was it, man.